Alright, hello everyone. This video is going to be hopefully pretty quick. I'm going to be talking about how to work with video in Studio One. Uh, on this channel we've used Studio One for a lot of audio applications so far, a lot of just basic principles to kind of get you on your own and going with creating stuff here. But specifically today I'm going to talk about video. So you can use this program not necessarily as a video editor, but as a way to take in a video and add sounds to it and create a new set of sounds for that video. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of the basic things to go with from there. Just a few things to note. If you've watched other videos on my channel, you'll know that normally I tend to be on the screen somewhere. I usually live over here nowadays, but I've gone ahead and hid that just to make life a little easier. I'm visiting family for the holidays, so I have a pared down version of everything. So with my screen real estate being much lower, I'm just kind of reducing stuff so I have multiple windows open throughout the recording here. Other than that, I've noticed particularly with Windows, there tends to be a little bit of I guess routing issues. I'm a little unsure the exact nature of it, but basically OBS, the software I use for all of my screen recording and streaming and the like, doesn't like to play well with Studio One. I've noticed less of that being a problem if I had my full setup with the external audio interface and all that, but you know, it is what it is. But these problems seem to be compounded once you start getting into the video element of it there. I'm not the only person to have talked about this, so I'm not going to go into it much more, but what I will tell you is that in order to kind of fix this issue, I will be exporting all of this once I'm done recording, and then I will put it online and put a link to that in the video description, so you'll be able to see the video and the Studio One session on your own device if you want to. Again, I've noticed this mostly on Windows computers. It doesn't seem to really be a problem on Macs, but my home desktop is a computer, Windows computer, and I just don't have my laptop with me to do Mac stuff. So let's just get into it. So again, we're going to be talking about a lot of the basic things you need to know about working with video, so that way you can add your own sounds to a video project using Studio One. I'm using the professional version, the top tier kind of paid one that you get with the PreSonus Sphere subscription. So if you're using a different one, some of this may be missing or different. I just wanted to go ahead and say that right now. So what I've got open is just an empty song right here. This is the normal kind of arrangement view. We would have all of our tracks and their content up here. And up at the top is the kind of toolbar with a lot of stuff, a lot of useful information. One of these that I've kind of glossed over so far is the video player button. If you click that, it will bring up the video player. Right now, there's nothing in it, but there's a few useful things. So we can stick a video in here in order to watch, so we can sync up our various sounds with it. So there's a few buttons here. We can make it bigger, we can make it smaller, we can have it render stuff in real time or separately. We can control the mute of the video player. This is very important. The video player and Studio One's normal arrangement down here have separate audio playbacks, so if you unmute the video and there's sound in the file, it will play that sound normally, so just be aware of that. Over here we have the option to add and remove a video. We can extract the audio from the video and put it in a separate track. We can offset the time, so you can make the video start later in your recording. If maybe you want to have an intro bit of sounds, you can have it start earlier. If you're changing things up, and you can change the kind of size of everything once we get the video in. So speaking of that, how do we get the video in? Well, there's several ways. I'll mention them, but I'll show you my kind of favorite. The first is to just click this plus button. You can click your video. You'll notice down here you have some of the options. This is a MPEG-4, MP4, totally works fine. Not all of these work. In fact, that's more of a limitation of Windows, but I could be wrong, because I've tried this other one before, and that was a QuickTime an MOV file that did not work here. But anyways, I'm going to click this and say open, and you'll see that now the video is right here. You can play through it. It's a pretty short one. I should jump in and say real quick though, just for legal reasons, I got this for free off of vidvio.net. I must credit the author, so I found this for free right there. I did not make the video. There you go. Okay, now that that's done, here is this video right here. I'm going to remove it and show you two other ways to bring in a video file. The next, if you have the browse window open under files, you can go and navigate through all your various things to go find the file. I don't actually think I have volume. Oh, it's under here. Volumes, local, users, me. Actually, no, it's under downloads. Downloads, and you can go find it through all the stuff, but you can just click and drag and drop, and there you go. So that can be useful there. I'm gonna leave that, but what I like to do generally is just find the video in my normal file explorer right here, and you can just click, drag, and drop, and boom, it's right there. So it's really easy, really user-friendly to do that. One thing I also want to point out while I'm here is if you click, drag, and drop, and hold Control, something interesting happens. Something interesting should have happened. Well, maybe they've changed that since I last learned how to do this, but I was going to try to just import the audio and not the file. But we can just do that by clicking the Extract Audio button. This may be a silent video. Let's find out. This is a silent video, but what you can do is extract the audio and have that represented on a track. So that can be a very useful tool. It'll just extract only the audio and stick it in there. So if you have a video that you want just the audio from, you can take it and have a separate track with just that. It's pretty useful. So we've got that right there. So let's just talk about a few quick things, nothing too crazy. Kind of working our way down here again, we can make this bigger, smaller. Again, things tend to get a little wonky here. I'm going to put this back on normal size. But you can again change the size of all the stuff. Why is this being weird? There we go. Well, something is broken on my video player. Alright, let's just try. Let's just do it like this. Alright, we're just going to bring that back in. Not 100% sure what happened there. But there it is. Problem fixed. Kind of. It's still acting up. But we can affect the video offset. So this will essentially make the video move forward or backward in time. So maybe I wanted to make this start, not that much. Let's say 5 seconds in the future. I can say OK. And then when I play this video, it's not going to start until we get to 5 seconds. Right about now. There we go. And then the video starts. So if you wanted to have an intro, you could set up that intro and then the video will start when you want it to start. I could set that to a negative amount. Let's go with -5-ish. And now you'll notice that it's starting further into the video, about halfway through, because this is a very short, about 11-second video. So I'm just gonna zero that out again. And you can notice the video kind of jumps forward and back in time just to line up with wherever the playhead is at that particular moment. So pretty useful. So I've got that right there. One thing that can be helpful is we say you want to add some markers for things that happen in the video. You've noticed we've got this little global track visibility button. If you click it, there's one called markers. So I'm going to set this to seconds. And this ends at about 11 seconds, so we'll go over there. If you right click it, you get the option to add some stuff in here with keyboard commands. So I'm just going to say there's the end right there. Oh, no, it jumped me to the end, so I can click and drag this to over here. And then, boop, I'm just going to zoom right back in. And again, this is at 11 seconds. But if you right click, where's the marker tool? There we are. You can click in with the Y key on your keyboard. You can just, wherever your playhead is, hit the Y key, and that will add a marker. And they'll automatically update the numbers depending on what order they are. But if you click on it, you can change the name. So, page turn. I'm going to get rid of these extra ones here, but you can make these markers that will line up with your video. So if I bring this back, go back to the beginning, here's the point where the page actually flips right there. So I can set this to be right there, and then I can visually see on my screen where things, where all my stuff happens. So let's just make a new track. I'm going to make this an instrument track. I'll do the thing. I'll leave it pretty simple. I'm picking one at random. No idea how it'll sound, but here we go. So now, if I wanted to just record something, I could. So let's pretend I had a MIDI keyboard set up. I don't, because again, I'm not in my normal place. But I could record things. We'll do it that way, and it will start doing all of its stuff. And I can make sure that right there, my recording's synced up. Again, because I'm not in the normal setup, I'm going to do this manually. So I can take all my things. Maybe I want to zoom it out just a bit. So I'm just going to add a note. And it appears as though that page turn happens at right about 7 seconds. Right about that. I'm just doing a single note. There we are. And we see that appears and goes to right about there. And there we go. That's my wonderful melody. You'll be able to hear that at the end of this. But if I go and play it, alright, so you can play that right there. That's fine. I'm going to bring this volume down because it hurts my ears. But you can bring up this video player here and see the video with your audio. So that is, again, very useful for syncing things up. So my general workflow is to, when I have my video, load it in, go through and add the flags here for the important things that I want to have my audio sync up to. And then I can go through bit by bit and add in, maybe it's a sound recording, maybe it's a synthesizer, maybe it's whatever you want to do, you can add it in like there and make sure everything syncs up. I'm going to jump back just a second and point out that, again, there's these plus and minus buttons here, so you can add or remove these flags outside of the keyboard shortcut of Y. Alright, so let's say that you're done and this is going to be your wonderful thing. We can go to export. Normally we in this when I teach this as a class, we go to export mixdown. That's just the audio. I'm going to do that right here. So this is my video, but it's the audio. That's a wonderful name right here. But you can do all this stuff just like normal. Oops, I forgot to set my loop. So there it is. And then we can, export it. There we go. There's just the audio file. But if you looked under song, we now have the option that says export video. If you click that, we have a few options. We can pick the name here. Video. This is my video, and this one's specifically the video. You can select the, how you want to save it. I'm going to leave it all the same for the duration of the video, all that, and I'll just say OK. So this may take a little bit, but now I've got this separate file, and if I were to play it, it's now playing it with that sound. We get the idea. So that's a very, very shorthand way. There's additional things you can do. This is just kind of the very basic, getting you started to go off and do things. A few kind of final tips. Again, you can adjust your tempo and the like, but under, I believe it's song setup right here. We can set up a bunch of different things, but a helpful tip is to make sure that your frame rate matches that of your video. You can run into a few issues. So if I went over here into back to that original video, I could right click it, and under properties, because I'm on Windows, on Mac you would right click it and say get info. We can click on under details, I believe it is. Total frame rate, there we are, 25 frames per second. So you can make sure that this matches right here. So in this one I want 25 frames per second, but you can kind of fine tune the details. But then you just make that line up. You can run it, help you avoid any, issues there. That'll help with everything lining up, frame drops and stuff like that. That's kind of the main thing. Again, don't forget about the metronome. That can be useful for setting up your recordings to match with what's going on with the video. I'm not going to go through all that right now because it's gone on for a bit. I just wanted to briefly introduce how to import a video, some of the basic stuff you can do with it. Again, this is not a video editing software. This is an audio software, so the idea is that you are adding audio to the video. And then how you can export all of that. So with that being said, I'm going to end my recording. If you learned something or you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like, subscribe, all that stuff. It really does help out. Again, I'll have this Studio One session all zipped up in a file online, along with the source video and the one with the audio added to it, so you can check that out at your own leisure if you want. That's going to be all from me, so I will see you all the next time that I see you. Bye.